The spaceship Phoenix moved slowly through the dark void toward the Kethvar star system. Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge looking at the screen that showed their destination. His hands were steady, but inside he felt nervous. The Galactic Council had called this mission suicide. They said no one could talk to the Kethvar and live. "Sir, we're getting close to their space," said Navigator Katie Brooks. She was young but smart. Her fingers moved quickly over the controls. Jake nodded. Behind him, Dr. Lisa Park was reading reports about the Kethvar. She had studied aliens for 10 years, but these creatures scared even her. The Kethvar were huge lizard-like beings with thick skin like armor. They could heal from almost any wound. Their home planet was a nightmare world that killed most visitors. "Captain, I'm picking up their radio signals," said Communications Officer Danny Clark. He wore headphones and listened carefully. "They know we're coming." Commander Alex Stone walked up to Jake. He was the military leader on the ship. "Sir, our weapons are ready, but honestly, they won't do much good against those aliens." Jake had read the files. 3 different alien races had tried to make contact with the Kethvar before. All 3 missions had failed badly. The Kethvar had destroyed their ships without warning. That's why other aliens called them Deathworlders, beings so dangerous that even talking to them meant death. The Phoenix carried 200 humans. They were scientists, soldiers, engineers, and doctors. All of them had volunteered for this mission even though they knew the risks. Earth needed allies, and the Kethvar controlled important space routes. "Sir, look at this," said Dr. Park. She pointed to her computer screen. "I've been studying their radio messages. The Kethvar have been listening to galactic communications for decades. They know about other species, but they stay hidden." "Why?" asked Jake. "I think they're waiting," Dr. Park said. "Maybe they want to see if anyone is strong enough to visit them." Suddenly, alarms started ringing all over the bridge. Katie Brooks looked up from her station with wide eyes. "Captain, we have company." On the main screen, massive ships appeared. The Kethvar warships were 3 times bigger than the Phoenix. Their black metal hulls had spikes and weapons pointing in all directions. The ships looked like floating fortresses built for war. "How many?" asked Commander Stone. 12 ships, sir," Katie replied. "They just came out of nowhere." Danny Clark pressed his headphones closer to his ears. "Sir, I'm getting a message. It's in Galactic Standard Language, but it sounds strange." "Put it on speakers," Jake ordered. Deep, rough voice filled the bridge. The words came slowly, like the speaker was not used to this language. "Soft flesh beings, you come to die world. Why do you not flee like others?" The bridge went quiet. Everyone stared at the screen showing the huge alien ships. Jake felt his heart beating fast, but he kept his voice calm. "This is Captain Jake Morrison of the Earthship Phoenix. We come in peace. We want to talk." There was a long silence. Then the alien voice spoke again. "Talk?" "Others came to talk. They are space dust now. You are small and weak. Why do you think you will live?" Dr. Park stepped forward. "Captain, let me try." Jake nodded. "We are humans from the planet Earth," Dr. Park said into the microphone. "We know your world is dangerous. We know you are strong warriors, but we still came here because we want to learn about you." Another long pause. The Kethvar ships moved closer to the Phoenix. Their weapons were still pointed at the human ship. "Earth?" the alien voice said. "We know this name. Your world has storms and earthquakes. Your oceans have monsters. Why do soft beings like you live on such a world?" Commander Stone looked surprised. "They've been studying us too." Jake made a decision that would change everything. "Kethvar warriors, I request permission to land on your world. I want to meet you face to face." The bridge crew turned to stare at him. Commander Stone stepped closer. "Sir, that's suicide. Their planet will kill us in minutes." "Maybe," Jake said. "But if we want their respect, we have to show courage." Dr. Park was looking at her instruments. "Captain, their planet has 3 times Earth's gravity. The air is poison to humans. The temperature changes could freeze or cook us, and that's just the environment. The life forms there are even worse." "I know the risks," Jake said. "But we didn't come this far to give up now." The alien voice spoke again, but this time it sounded different, almost interested. You want to come to Keth Prime? You want to walk on Deathworld? Yes, Jake said simply. There was the longest pause yet. The Kethvar ships moved around the Phoenix like hunters circling prey. Finally, the voice returned. Soft flesh Morrison, you speak like warrior, but you look weak. If you come to our world, you will face the trials. Many will die. Your ship will land where we say. You will go where we lead. If you are not strong, you become food for our beasts. Jake looked around the bridge. His crew was scared, but determined. They had all known this moment would come. We accept, Jake said. Very well. Follow the signal we send. Land where the beacon shows. If your ship tries to escape or attacks, we will destroy it. Welcome to Deathworld, humans. A navigation signal appeared on Katie's screen. It showed coordinates for a landing spot on the planet's northern continent. According to their maps, it was one of the most dangerous areas on an already deadly world. Set course for those coordinates, Jake ordered. As the Phoenix began its descent toward the alien world, Jake wondered if he had just saved humanity or doomed his entire crew. Through the main screen, he could see the surface of Keth Prime getting closer. It looked like a planet designed to kill anything that landed on it. The real test was about to begin. The Phoenix shook as it landed on Keth Prime. Captain Jake Morrison felt his body get heavy as the planet's strong gravity pulled at him. Even with their special suits that helped them move, walking felt like carrying 3 people on his back. Landing. Complete, sir, said Katie Brooks. Her voice sounded strained from the gravity. All systems are working, but barely. Jake looked out the window at their new home. The sky was red with thick clouds. Rain fell, but it wasn't normal water. It was acid that could burn through metal. The ground was covered with strange plants that moved even when there was no wind. Sir, I'm reading the air outside, said Dr. Lisa Park. She was studying her instruments. The oxygen level is too low for humans. The pressure would crush us without suits. And there are chemicals that would kill us in seconds. Commander Alex Stone was already preparing the security team. Sergeant Ben Walsh, get your Marines ready. Full combat gear and environment suits. Ben Walsh was a tough soldier who had fought in 3 wars, but even he looked nervous. Yes, sir. How many men should I take? 20, Alex said. We need to set up a safe area around the ship. The Marines put on their thick suits and checked their weapons. Each suit had its own air supply and protection against the acid rain. They looked like metal robots when they were done. Dr. Park was still reading her instruments. Captain, I'm picking up life signs all around us. Big ones, and they're moving toward our ship. What kind of life signs? Jake asked. I don't know, but some of them are as big as our ship. Suddenly the ground started shaking. Through the window they could see huge creatures moving in the distance. They looked like dinosaurs, but bigger and meaner. Some had multiple heads. Others had armor plates covering their bodies. Now I know why they call this a death world, said Danny Clark. Engineer Carlos Vega was checking the ship's systems. Sir, the acid rain is already eating away at our hull. We need to set up shields or we won't have a ship to go home in. Do we? Jake ordered. For the next 2 hours, the crew worked to make their landing site safe. The Marines set up an electric fence to keep the big creatures away. Carlos and his team built shields to protect the ship from the acid rain. Dr. Park collected samples of the air and soil to study. Then the real visitors arrived. Sir, you need to see this, said Ben Walsh over the radio. He was standing guard, outside the ship. Jake put on his environment suit and went outside. The gravity hit him like a hammer. Each step was hard work. But what he saw made him forget about being tired. 12 giants were walking toward them. The Kethvar were even bigger than the reports had said. The shortest one was 10 feet tall. The leader was at least 12 feet. Their skin looked like green and brown armor. They had long arms with claws that could cut through steel. Their faces were like lizards, but intelligent lizards with sharp teeth. The leader stepped forward. When he spoke, his voice was so deep that Jake felt it in his chest. I am War Chief Thakmore. You are the humans who wanted to come to Deathworld. Jake stepped forward too, even though the alien could kill him with one hand. I am Captain Jake Morrison. Thank you for letting us land. Thakmor looked surprised. Thank us. You are brave or very stupid. Most aliens who come here are dead within one day. Your ship is small and weak. You are small and weak. Why are you not dead yet? We're tougher than we look, Jake said. The war chief laughed. It sounded like rocks falling down a mountain. We will see. Your people must pass the greeting trials. If you fail, you become food. If you succeed, we will talk. What are these trials? Asked Dr. Park. She had come outside with Commander Stone and several Marines. First, you must breathe our air without your machines, Thakmor said. Second, you must walk in our gravity without falling. Third, you must face one of our world's hunters and live. Commander Stone stepped forward. That's impossible. Your air will kill us, your gravity will break our bones, and your predators are massive. Thakmor studied the humans carefully. Yet you came here knowing this. Other races ran away when they learned about our world. The Volanti said we were too dangerous to contact. The Jekti said our planet was cursed. The Mordak tried to land, but they died before they could leave their ship. You are the first to survive landing. Dr. Park was thinking fast. War Chief, may I ask you something? The giant alien nodded. You said other aliens died quickly on your world, but you seem surprised that we're still alive. What makes you think we might be different? Thakmor pointed at the acid rain falling on their suits. Your protection is simple but effective. Your ship survived landing in a storm that destroyed others, and you, he pointed at Jake. You speak to me without fear, even though I could break you in half. Our planet taught us to be strong, Jake said. Earth is not as dangerous as your world, but it tried to kill us many times. We learned to fight back. This made all the Kethvar aliens look interested. They started talking to each other in their own language. It sounded like growling and hissing. Finally, Thakmor spoke again. Tell us about this Earth. What dangers did you face? Dr. Park stepped forward. Our planet has ice ages that freeze everything for thousands of years. We have, storms that destroy whole cities, earthquakes that split the ground open, volcanoes that block out the sun, and we shared our world with predators that hunted us. Biologist Mary Collins joined them. She had been studying Earth's history for years. We nearly went extinct several times. Our planet has had 5 mass extinctions. Each time, most life died. But some of us survived and became stronger. The Kethvar were very quiet now. Thakmor looked at his warriors, then back at the humans. You are Deathworlders like us, he said slowly. Your world made you strong just as ours made us strong. This is unexpected. Jake saw his chance. War Chief, we came here because we want to learn from you. We think our people have much in common. Thakmor stood silent for a long moment. The acid rain kept falling. The ground kept shaking from the huge creatures moving around them. But something had changed. The trials will still happen, Thakmor said finally. But now I am curious to see what Deathworlders from another planet can do. Rest tonight. Tomorrow we test if you are truly strong or just lucky. As the Kethvar walked away, Jake felt both relief and worry. They had survived the first meeting, but the real tests were still coming. The next morning brought new challenges. War Chief Thakmor arrived with 20 of his warriors. They surrounded the Phoenix like a wall of living armor. Each Kethvar carried weapons that looked like they could cut through anything. Today you face the trials, Thakmor announced. His deep voice echoed across the landing site. First trial. Breathe our air for 1 full minute without your machines. Captain Jake Morrison felt his stomach drop. The air on this planet was poison to humans, but he had volunteered his crew for this mission. He couldn't back down now. I'll go first, Jake said. Dr. Lisa Park grabbed his arm. Captain, the air will burn your lungs. You could die. We all knew the risks when we came here, Jake replied. He started taking off his helmet. Commander Alex Stone stepped forward. Sir, I should do this. I'm military. No. Jake said firmly. I'm the captain. This is my responsibility. He removed his helmet completely. The alien air hit his face like a slap. It smelled like sulfur and burned metal. His eyes started watering immediately. Each breath felt like swallowing fire. The HFY warriors watched, in silence. Some looked surprised that Jake was still standing. 30 seconds passed. Jake's lungs felt like they were on fire, but he kept breathing. His vision started to blur, but he didn't fall down. 45 seconds. Jake started coughing. Blood. 50 seconds. His legs began to shake, but at exactly 1 minute he put his helmet back on and took a deep breath of clean air. Impressive, said Thakmor. Most aliens die in 20 seconds. Who is next? Dr. Park stepped forward and removed her helmet. Then Engineer Carlos Vega. One by one, half the crew took the breathing trial. 3 humans collapsed and had to be carried back to the ship, but most survived the full minute. Second trial, Thakmor announced. Walk 1 mile in our gravity without your support suits. This was even worse. The gravity on Keth Prime was 3 times stronger than Earth's. Without their special suits, the humans felt like they weighed 600 pounds each. Sergeant Ben Walsh volunteered first. He was the strongest Marine on the ship. But after just 100 yards, he fell to his knees. His bones weren't breaking, but every step was agony. Get up, warrior, Thakmor said. Pain is just weakness leaving the body. Ben Walsh forced himself to stand. Step by step, he walked the full mile. It took him 2 hours, but he made it. Several other humans tried the trial. About half succeeded. The HFY were getting more interested in the humans with each trial. They had never seen aliens adapt so quickly to their world. Final trial, Thakmor said. Face a hunter from our world and survive. He made a sound, like a roar. From the forest came a creature that made the humans step back in fear. It was 20 feet long with 6 legs and 2 heads. Its teeth were like swords. Its claws could dig through rock. This is a young Keth beast, Thakmor explained. On our world, children hunt these for sport. The creature looked at the humans like they were food. Its 2 heads moved independently, watching different people at the same time. I'll face it, said Commander Stone. He picked up a metal pole from their equipment. Alex, no, Jake said. That thing will kill you. Maybe, Alex replied. But someone has to do it. The Keth beast charged. Alex rolled to the side and hit it with the metal pole. The creature's armor-like skin barely felt the blow. It turned and swung its claws at Alex. He jumped back, but the claws tore through his suit. For 10 minutes, Alex ran and dodged while the beast tried to catch him. He couldn't hurt it, but he stayed alive. Finally, Thakmor made another roaring sound, and the creature stopped attacking. Enough, the war chief said. You have survived. This is more than any other alien has done. The HFY warriors started talking among themselves in their own language. They sounded excited and surprised. War chief, said Dr. Park, may we show you something about our ship? Thakmor nodded. We are curious about your vessel. It is small, but it survived our storms. Jake led the aliens inside the Phoenix. The HFY had to duck to fit through the doors, but they followed with interest. Engineer Tony Russo showed them the ship's engines. Our ship is built to survive in dangerous places. It can work in radiation that would kill most beings. It can fly through asteroid fields and solar storms. The HFY examined everything carefully. They were impressed by the ship's strong design and backup systems. Your ship is built like a weapon, observed one of the warriors. In a way it is, said Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sam Turner. Space is trying to kill us every second. Our ship has to fight just to keep us alive. Navigation Officer Katie Brooks showed them the star maps. We've been to worlds with no atmosphere, worlds covered in ice, worlds with gravity so strong it crushes metal. Our ship takes us safely through all of it. But the real surprise came when Communications Officer Danny Clark showed them the ship's databanks. This contains the history of our people, Danny explained. Our wars, our weapons, our methods of fighting. Thakmor's eyes grew wide. You carry the knowledge of war? Yes, said Jake carefully. We've learned many ways to destroy our enemies, but we've also learned when not to use those ways. Dr. Park pulled up files on her computer. Our people created weapons that could destroy our entire planet. Bombs that could kill millions of people at once. Poisons that could wipe out all life. The HFY warriors looked shocked. You had the power to destroy your world? Thakmor asked. Yes, Jake said. But we chose not to. We learned that some powers are too dangerous to use. This is... Thakmor searched for words. This is wisdom we did not expect from Deathworlders. Engineer Carlos Vega showed them more files. We also carry medical knowledge, ways to heal instead of hurt, technology to build instead of destroy, art, music, stories of peace. So your ship carries death and life? Asked a HFY warrior. Yes, said Jake. We bring the knowledge of how to destroy, but also the wisdom to choose creation instead. Thakmor was quiet for a long time. He studied the humans and their ship with new eyes. Most species we meet fear death, he said finally. Others seek to cause death. But you master death. You carry it with you, but you choose life. This makes you more dangerous than any weapon. Dangerous how? Asked Jake. Because you are deathbringers who choose to give life instead. This is the mark of true warriors. The strongest fighters are those who win without fighting. Thakmor turned to his warriors. These humans have earned our highest honor. They are deathbringers who choose life. They will be welcomed in our cities. The war chief faced Jake again. Captain Morrison, your trials are complete. You and your people have proven worthy of friendship. Welcome to Keth Prime, brothers in survival. For the first time since landing, Jake smiled. They had done the impossible. They had made contact with the galaxy's most feared warriors and lived to tell about it. 6 months later, Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the Phoenix, but it looked very different now. Half of his crew were humans, and half were HFY warriors. The alien beings had to duck under the low ceilings, but they worked, alongside the humans like old friends. Captain, we're getting a message from Earth, said Communications Officer Danny Clark. He was training a young HFY named Veltar how to use human radio equipment. Put it through, Jake said. Admiral, Sarah Johnson's face appeared on the screen. She looked surprised to see HFY aliens working on the bridge. Captain Morrison, I have to admit, when you left Earth, I thought we'd never see you again. How did you do it? We learned that we have more in common with the HFY than anyone expected, Jake replied. They respect strength, and we proved we were strong enough to survive their world. In the background, War Chief Thakmor walked up to the screen. Admiral Johnson's eyes went wide. She had seen reports about the HFY, but meeting one face-to-face was different. Admiral Johnson, Thakmor said in careful English, your people are worthy warriors. We are honored to call them friends. The honor is ours, War Chief, the Admiral replied, trying to hide her nervousness. Dr. Lisa Park had been working with HFY scientists to study both planets. Admiral, we've made amazing discoveries. The HFY evolved just like we did. Their planet tried to kill them for millions of years, so they became stronger and smarter, added Engineer Carlos Vega. He had 3 HFY assistants now. They've developed technology we never thought of. Their metal is stronger than anything we have. Their energy weapons could power entire cities. What about their military capabilities? Asked the Admiral. She was still thinking like a soldier. Commander Alex Stone answered that question. Ma'am, 1 HFY warrior is worth 10 of our best Marines, but they don't want to conquer anyone. They just want to be left alone to test themselves against their world. Until now, said Thakmor. Meeting humans has changed our thinking. We see that other Deathworlders exist. This makes us curious about the galaxy. Biologist Mary Collins had exciting news. Admiral, we've discovered that there are more species like us out there. Beings who evolved on dangerous planets and became strong because of it. The galaxy is full of Deathworlders that nobody talks to because they're too afraid. We want to find them, said Jake. The Phoenix is going to be the first ship designed to make contact with impossible species. Admiral Johnson looked thoughtful. Captain, the Galactic Council has been asking questions. They're nervous about humans and Kethvar working together. They think we might be planning something dangerous. Thakmor laughed, making the deep rumbling sound that humans had learned to recognize as amusement. Let them worry. We plan nothing but exploration. But if they threaten our friends... He left the threat unfinished. The Council wants to meet with both species, Admiral Johnson continued. They're offering trade agreements, technology exchanges, the works. Apparently, having two Deathworlder species as allies makes everyone want to be friendly. Of course it does, said Dr. Park. They ignored us when they thought we were weak. Now they're scared. Navigation Officer Katie Brooks was studying star charts with her Kethvar partner, a warrior named Graktos. Captain, we've identified 12 more species that might be Deathworlders. The Zephyrian hive mind that lives in gas giant storms, the crystal singers who live inside stars, the deep dwellers who never leave their underground worlds. Each one has been declared impossible to contact, added Danny Clark. Just like the Kethvar were. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sam Turner had been working with Kethvar healers. Admiral, you should see what we've learned about medicine. Kethvar healing techniques combined with human surgery could save millions of lives. And human psychological methods help Kethvar warriors deal with combat stress, added a Kethvar healer named Morthek. Your people understand the mind's battle against fear. Admiral Johnson was taking notes. This alliance is bigger than we thought. What do you need from Earth? More ships, said Jake immediately. Ships built like the Phoenix, strong enough to survive anywhere, with crews trained to make contact with dangerous species. And more people willing to take risks, added Sergeant Ben Walsh. He had become close friends with several Kethvar warriors. The kind of people who see danger and walk toward it instead of away. Thakmor nodded approvingly. Your Marines think like Kethvar. They do not fear death, so they can choose life. Admiral, there's something else, said Engineer Tony Russo. Other Deathworlder species are already reaching out to us. We're getting signals from across the galaxy. They want to know about the humans and Kethvar who became friends. It's like we started something, said Dr. Park. For the first time, species that everyone thought were too dangerous are willing to talk. Lieutenant Commander Nicole Foster, who had become the main liaison between humans and Kethvar, stepped forward. Admiral, we're not just making friends, we're creating a new type of alliance based on mutual respect instead of fear. Admiral Johnson smiled for the first time during the call. Captain Morrison, you've done something incredible. Earth is proud of you. I'm authorizing construction of 5 more ships like the Phoenix. Each one will have a mixed human Kethvar crew. Excellent, said Thakmor. My people are eager to see the stars. We have been alone on our death world for too long. Admiral, what about our next mission? Asked Jake. The Zephyrian hive mind. They live in the storms of a gas giant in the Arcturus system. No one has ever made contact because their world would tear apart any normal ship. But the Phoenix can handle it, Jake finished. When do we leave? 2 weeks. And Captain? The whole galaxy will be watching. You're not just representing humanity anymore. You're representing all Deathworlders everywhere. After the call ended, Jake looked around his bridge. Humans and Kethvar worked side by side, preparing for their next impossible mission. Dr. Park was teaching alien biology to Kethvar scientists. Carlos Vega was learning Kethvar engineering from Veltar. Ben Walsh was practicing combat techniques with Graktos. War Chief, Jake said to Thakmor, are you ready for another adventure? Always, friend Jake. Our world taught us to seek challenges. Now we seek them among the stars. Outside the ship's windows, Keth Prime spun slowly in space. Its red storms and dangerous surface no longer looked threatening to the Phoenix crew. They had conquered that world through courage and wisdom. Set. Course for the Arcturus system, Jake ordered. Let's go meet some storm dwellers. As the Phoenix jumped into hyperspace, carrying its crew of Deathworlders toward another impossible first contact, both species knew they had found something more valuable than technology or territory. They had found kindred spirits in a galaxy that had written them off as too dangerous to approach. The age of Deathworlder alliances had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same.